Okay. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to TGIFHacks 136 basic penetration testing. Okay, just do a sound check. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. If you can hear me, just type in the chat or just give me a reaction. Okay, thanks. Okay, so for today, okay, I will just give you all a brief overview of what we're going to do for this workshop. So, okay. So firstly, we'll go through the installation and downloading part to make sure that you have all these things ready. So before we move on to the hands-on part later on, please make sure you have installed at least one virtualization tool. So if you're using Windows, we can download VirtualBox or Mac OS, so VirtualBox. Then if you're using a Mac M1 or M2 chip, then you can install Parallel Desktop, but it's a paid one, so you go for the 7-day free trial, or you can download the VMware Fusion Tech Preview, which is they're still testing it. Yeah. Then you also need to install Kali Linux VM. Then other than that, you also need to download the two OVA file that I share in the Google Drive folder, which is Basic Pen Test 1 and Mr. Robot. Yeah. So after this, we'll give a short, brief introduction of what pen testing is. Then we will move on to we'll do a hands-on walkthrough of basic pen test 1. So after that, we'll give you all a break, a 5 minutes break. Then we'll give you all 15 minutes to try out on your own to try to break through Mr. Robot. Then after 15 minutes, we'll do a walkthrough. Yeah, so that's the entire flow of today's workshop. Yeah. Any question on that? VirtualBox is down. Wait, let me check. No, still okay. It's still working on my side. Maybe it's the network problem. Yeah. By the way, anyone does everyone able to access to the Google Drive folder that we sent out through the email? Will recording be shared after the session? Yeah, I think so. So after this session, we will try to share the recording, upload to YouTube on our NTU OSS YouTube channel. Yes. Where is the Google Drive link? It's in the email that we send out. I can also just share it over here. Okay, if you look at the Zoom chat box, okay, this is the Google Drive link. Then it contains the basic pen test 1 OVA file and the Mr. Robot OVA file. And it also contains the slide. So any point of time that you feel that I'm going too fast or anything, you can always refer to the slide in the Google Drive. Yeah, I have also put up all the steps of going through the machine inside the slide already. Yeah. So at any point of time you feel I'm going too fast, you can always refer to that. When we price the gives error, gives an error. No, it works fine for me on my side. Yeah. Does anyone facing the similar problem? Like when you try to download VirtualBox, then you were facing a problem? No, right? Can you paste the link you are using here? Okay, wait. Yeah, I think if you might be the network issue. Like sometimes the NTU they block certain website from downloading. Okay, here's the website for you to download the VirtualBox. Okay, does anyone else facing similar problem? I hope not. Okay, anyway, we'll move on first. So if you have any problem, you can later on during the break, you can try to message me or anything. Okay, so the recommendation is VirtualBox if you're using a Windows or Mac. And this is how you install it and try to install the external pack also. Yeah, and also try to install the Kali Linux VM also. Also remember to download the basic pentest 1 and Mr. Robot OB. And if you're using a M1 or M2 Mac, then you can install Parallel Desktop or the VMware Fusion Tech Preview, both workable. And then there's some configuration that you can do. So you can always refer to the site if you don't know how to do the configuration. Yeah, then should be the school Wi-Fi problem for you. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're using a M1 or M2 Mac, okay, I've tried really. So the machine cannot really run the OVA file because the OVA files are built on x86. So one solution for you is you can upload the OVA file to AWS Cloud. Then you try to run an EC2 image from it. Then from there, you can try to, from your own local machine, you can try to access the AWS, the cloud target machine. Yeah. So if you don't know how to do it, I've included 2 links. There's a YouTube video that's have all the detailed steps on how to do so. So you can refer to it. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the brief introduction of penetration testing. Okay, so what is penetration testing? So it's just ethically driven attempt to test and analyze security defense to protect access and pieces of information. And also involves using tools and techniques, methodology that the hackers that use, but just use it in a more legal way. So there's 3 different types so-called hackers. That's the white hat, there's the gray hat, and there's the black hat. So what's the difference between these 3? So for white hat, they are the so-called the good people, and they use their skills for good users. They test the system, make sure it's functioning properly. Yeah, so they don't break any law or anything. So next one, that's the gray hat. So there's this group of people who do for good intent, like such as taking down a scamming website, but they may not follow all the laws or that we establish in our society. And the last one is the black hat, is the bad guys, basically. They, do all the hacking, hack the Bitcoin blockchain or anything. Yeah. So this group of people, they are the black hat. Okay, rules of engagement. So this is a thing that's it's like a it's like an instruction set given to you before you do penetration testing. So inside this rule of engagement, it lays out all the permission, the test scope, and the techniques that you use, and the scope also, yeah, for when you do penetration testing. And these are the important stages during penetration testing. So we start with information gathering, then followed by enumeration, exploitation, then privilege escalation, and then post-exploitation. So for today, the workshop will just mainly focusing on the middle three, which is enumeration, exploitation, and privilege escalation. We will not do information gathering and post-exploitation. And here are some of the common commands that you can find in Linux. If you are not familiar with it, so you can just take a quick look, and it's a very simple commands. They will be used very frequently later on. Okay, then for objective today, so when we're trying to break through the machine, we are trying to become the highest privilege user in the machine. In this case, since it's a Linux system, which is the root. So if you don't know what the highest privilege user is, so it's on Windows, it's just called the administrator. Yeah. So our objective is to become root, the highest privilege user in the system. Yeah. Okay. Next part will be our hands-on time, and we will begin with basic pen test 1 first. And before we begin the first one, I just want to make sure that everyone is have everything set up ready. So you have your Kali Linux running, functioning properly. Does anyone face any issue? Like, yeah. By the way, just asking, anyone using M1 or M2 Mac or not for today's workshop? You can just type in the chat, or give me a emoji also again. Okay, great. No one is using that. And then is everyone ready for our first virtual machine? Can just type in the chat or just give me an emoji also again. Everyone ready? Still downloading. Okay, I see some of you still downloading. Okay. Okay, then we will wait for a short 5 minutes. Okay, we just wait for 5 minutes to make sure everyone is ready to do the hands-on. Okay. If you facing any problem for the setup or configuration, feel free to message me in the chat box. Yeah, or just on your mic and ask. Okay, for Kali Linux. Okay, so if you are if you have installed VMware, then you should install the VMware version. And if you are using the VirtualBox one, then you should install the VirtualBox version. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Okay, I think that's 5 minutes. So I'll just start. Okay. Try to okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Able to see my screen? Okay, nice. Okay, we'll just move on. Okay, I believe you have downloaded okay, these few files. Okay, you have your basic pentest 1 on Mr. Robot and your Kali Linux, right? These 3 files. So the first thing we do, we try to set up our Kali Linux first. So we just need to double click on the blue icon, the blue color file. Double click it, and you see that the VirtualBox manager will just open up. So let me bring this up. Oh my god, so sorry. Okay, so let's go to settings. Settings. Okay, for this part, go to system. And over here, you can allocate the memory that you prefer for this machine. So I will just recommend about 2 GB is enough. Then you can allocate the processor that you need for your Kali Linux machine. And I feel that you can do 1 or 2 CPU is fine. Don't go for too many. Yeah, usually 1 or 2 is enough for a machine really. Then the next one is about network. So for network, very important, you need to choose NAT network. Yeah. Once you choose NAT network, you should be able to see something like this. Yeah. Or any name that the VirtualBox already installed for you. If you see nothing, right? Like let me see, over here, you don't see anything, it's fine. Okay. You just go to file first over VirtualBox, go to file, go to preference, then over the network here. Okay. If yours showing nothing, then over here you also shouldn't be seeing anything. And then you just click on the add new NT network button. Then you should be able to create a new network name called net network. Then you just press OK. You go back to your Kali Linux VM. Yeah. And you should be able to see this, yeah, the network. name. Then just click OK. Okay, so far until here, the high network setup is done already. Then we can move on to okay, we can move on to importing basic pandas one. Just double click on it and you choose the folder whichever you prefer. Over here, I create a folder called VMs for VirtualBox. I will just import it. Yeah, then you take some time to import. Yeah. Meanwhile, does anyone facing any problem for the configuration? Yeah. Hey, can you go through the network? Okay, sure, no problem. But I just see whether I can. Oh my God, where is it? Oh, okay, so for the network part, okay, you just go to setting. Is it lagging? Okay, no. Okay, go to setting. So the first tool is to configure your memory and your processor. I just keep 2 GB and 2 will do. Then over network here, choose the NAT network. Yeah. Then you should be able to see something like this. Yeah, just click on it. If yours there's nothing, right? That means there's totally zero option for you to choose. No NAT network to choose. Then you can go to File at the VirtualBox Manager. Go to Preference. Yeah. Then go to Network. Then over here, click on the green button. Yeah, then you'll be able to create this network for you already. Yeah, is that solve your problem? Yeah. Anyway, if you're facing any problem, you can always refer to the slide. It's in the same Google Drive folder. And there's the, yeah, I've written the steps also over here. I can't find the network under preferences. Oh, that's weird. Cannot find the network. You mean here you cannot find the under preference? You mean yours don't have the network option? Okay, you found it? Okay, really good. Okay. Okay, does anyone facing other problems? Or okay, I see. Yeah. Okay, nice. So mine just the basic pandas one VM just import. Okay, it's over here. You can see the name is called CSEC. Okay. Let me try to move this up. Okay, so for this VM, same thing. We go to settings. Then for memory, right? This one, since this is our target machine, we don't really need so much RAM for this thing. We can just reduce it and maybe do 2 GB will do. Yeah. Then for processor, maybe I feel like just allocating one to it. Yeah. Then for network, we need to choose the NAT network. Yeah. Then we are good to go already. Yeah, so just remember these 3 settings: the RAM that you're going to use, the memory, then followed by processor, then it's the network setting. Okay, So once we are done ready, then we can start launching the target machine and our Kali Linux machine also. So let's begin with our target machine first. Just press the start button and it will be able to run already. Hey, how to add the OVA file to the virtual? Oh, very simple. You just double click on the OVA file. You will just directly to the virtual box. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, nice. So this is our target machine. It's a Ubuntu Linux VM. So after you enter here, just leave it like this will do. Yeah. So this is our target machine. So after launching it, we'll just launch our tagging machine. I think it's too many. Okay, so over here, let's launch our Kali Linux VM. Press the start button, then you're able to run it already. Okay, nice. So once we able to launch our Kali machine, Kali Linux VM, right? Okay, let's just zoom in a bit. Okay, it will just prompt you to log in the credential. So the credential is very simple. It's just called Kali. Username is called Kali, and the password is also called Kali. So just like this, Kali. Yeah, then you're able to log in really. Okay. It's a bit weird. Mm. Mm. Still. Mm. It's weird. Mm. Okay, I will just leave it like this. Okay, so after you log in, you can just go to this corner. Okay, you should be able to see the terminal icon. Just click on it. Okay, then you should be able to see a terminal popping up. Okay, until here, everyone good to go? I mean, does anyone have any problem? Okay, so if no one has some problem, so okay, once you reach here, first step we can track your own IP address first. So you can just do this command, if config, to track your own IP address. So in this case, my IP address allocated is 10.0.2.6. Yeah. Then after here, you can just do a net discover to try to discover the target machine, yeah, in your network. So just type this command. Okay, if you do here, you should be able to see that we actually need a escalated privilege to carry out this command, and in order for it to execute. So how do we execute? How do we escalate our privilege for just this command itself? We can just use the sudo, which means that super user do. Okay, so just in front of this command, I'm going to type sudo and prompt for the password for Kali, and also the default credential is always Kali. So just type Kali, enter. Yeah, then you see able to see it running already. Okay, good. Now we are able to discover our target machine IP address already. So in this case, it's the last one, 10.0.2.5. Okay. Once you finish already, right, you can just press Control C, yeah, Control plus C on your desktop to stop this command. Yeah, on Mac, right? On Mac, also it's the same thing. It's not command. You just press Control C. You're able to stop this process. Yeah. Okay, so now we are able to discover the IP address of our target machine. So the next step, what are we going to do? Can anyone give a guess? Okay, okay. I'll just carry on. Okay, that's correct. Port scanning. So okay, we'll just use this tool called Nmap to help us do scanning all the open ports of the target machine itself. Oh, it's totally fine. Yeah, if yours is isn't 05, yeah, it's normal. It depends on the VirtualBox itself. I mean your own virtualization tool itself. If yours it's not it's a different address, it's totally fine. Yeah. So just use that address for your target machine. Yeah. But just to confirm again, no one is using a Apple Silicon MacBook, right? Yeah. If you are using a M1 or M2 MacBook, just let me know. I will give you a public address for for the target machine. Yeah. Okay, great. No one is using the M1 or M2. Okay, now let's begin with our scanning. So we'll just use this tool called Nmap. So we can just type in the IP address. Let's see, 10.0.2.5. So if you see the SC and SV command, right, it's actually just to give me more information for it. Yeah. And if you, in case you don't know how to use this tool, right, you can always go to man. You can use the man function, which means for manual. You can always do man and it should be able to give you a manual of how to use this tool. Then you can read through this thing. Yeah, and then you will be able to know all the meaning of the flags or the arguments that have been set. Okay. And alternatively, you can always Google lah. Google is our best friend. So you can always Google the documentation for Nmap, and you should be able to see the same result. So let's go back to port scanning. So Nmap, let's see, SP 10.0.5. So let's run it. Give it some time. Okay, nice. So we're able to discover 3 open ports over here. If you look at here, okay, port 21, which is what kind of service does this port run? You can look here. That's the file transfer protocol, the FTP service. And next thing is our SSH, the remote protocol. And last one is our HTTP service, port 80, the one we use for browsing the websites. Yeah. So today, actually, there's also a vulnerability for this case for the port 21, but today we are not going to do it on that. We'll try to just give a general breakthrough through the web. Okay. So we know that the target machine port 80 is open. So what can we do? We can try to navigate to the websites, the target machine website itself, since it's live, right? Yeah, it's open. So we can just go to this icon, the Firefox browser. Just click on it. Yeah, skill is very weird. Okay, over here for the address part, we just type in the address for our target machine, which is 10.0.2.5. Yeah, then you should be able to see this page showing, oh, okay, it works. It is the default web page for the target machine. And the web server software is running, but no content have been added yet. Yeah. So at this stage, what can we do? Yeah. There isn't like anything interesting to us. Like how am I supposed to break into the machine? Yeah, it's just showing me some random words. Yeah, there's no hints at all. Oh, so where can we look for hints for a website? Yeah, does anyone want to give a guess? Okay, never mind. Okay. When we approach a website, we're also interested in the code, right? Running behind it. So our first step, maybe we want to look at inspect element of the web page to see look for any clues that we can find. So in this case, I just press inspect or view page source to try to find out what's behind the website. Okay, let's take a look of the HTML file here. Nothing interesting. Yeah, so nothing excites us over here. So what else can we do over here? The next step, if there's nothing interesting, right, after we view the page source of the website, right, what we can do is do something, try to find out the hidden directories of the website. And this time we're going to use okay. So this time we're going to use a new tool called derp. Okay, it will it's a tool that help us to find like those hidden files and directories behind the website. So we can just type it like this, enter the IP address of our target machine. So just derp our IP address of target machine, then run it. Oh yeah. So sorry. This one need to add the HTTP 0.2.5. Yeah, then you able to doing all the enumeration work. You can see there's a lot of interesting files, directories being found by this tool. Okay, now it's done. So let's just take a look of what are some of the directories that we managed to find. Okay, we found something called the secret. Okay, secret, this directory. And we can see there's also the WordPress related directories like the WP admin, WP content, WP include, etc. All falls below this secret directory. Okay. So let's try to find out. Let's go to this directory and see what's over there. Secret. Oh, something new. It's completely different than the website that we first visited. So this one has more information, and we know that this is powered by WordPress, as you can see by the last time below. Yeah, powered by WordPress. So let's try to go to the login console of WordPress, which is the WP admin. Okay. Oh, no found. Yeah, sorry. Admin. Try again. Okay, so over here, right? We are unable to access the website because it's giving us an error. And if we just look at the header here, right? If we just look at the header here, it's not our target machine IP address anymore. It's not the 10.0.2.5. Okay, because it has a name, so it's called VTCSEC. So what we can do over here, right, is try to give a name to the target IP address. So we want to give this name VTCSEC to 10.0.2.5, which is our target machine. So how are we able to do that? So we're going to edit this file called host file. Yeah. So let's go to our terminal. And we'll just do sudo nano. Nano is just like a text editor in Kali Linux. So it helps us edit the text. And we're going to edit this file. It's called the host file. It's located in the etc directory. Okay, over here you can see all the IP address and the name associated with it. So if let's say I go to 127.0.0.1, it's actually going back to the local host, which is to myself. So over here, right, we're just going to add 10.0.2.5, which is the IP address of our target machine. And the name associated with it, we can just put VTCSEC. So whenever the web browser trying to find VTCSEC, right, you will know the IP address actually direct to our target machine IP address. So after we key in this, we can just press Control X to exit and press Y to save the file. So Control X, they will prompt us, you want to save it or not? I will press yes, Y, and just click enter. Yep, they should be able to done already. So now let's go back to our web browser and we try to run it again. So again, we go to 0.2.5/secret/wp admin. Oh, boom. Yep. So this time we get a much better looking website, right? It prompts us the WordPress, the login page. So over here, what can we do? Do we have a username? Do we even know the password for it? Honestly, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know anything about it. But what can we do is we can give a guess. Yeah. So if the website administrator, right, the owner of this website is careless, right? He didn't do anything to the default user and the password. So there might be a chance that the creator is careless and we can abuse them. So for this time, I'm going to try this default credential for WordPress, which is called admin. So for the username, I'm going to put admin, and for the password, I'm also going to put admin. And for the password, yeah, admin. Yeah. So now we try to log in. Save. Ooh, nice. So it seems like the website owner is a careless guy. He didn't even change the default password for the admin user. So now we are able to abuse it and able to come to this website. Yeah, the inside of the WordPress. So after you reach here, okay, we will try to establish a reverse shell to our local Kali Linux machine. Yeah. So how are we going to do it? So we just come here. Once you inside here, right? Go to this icon, see appearance, go to editor. Understand. Yeah. Then over here, you can able to see all the codes that's running, some of the codes that's running behind the website. Okay. So we are going to edit this file. Yeah, I'm going to show you. Edit the PHP file. Over here. Okay, we're going to edit the 404 PHP file. So just click on it. And this is the code actually running for 404. So what kind of code are we going to use? So there's already some code done by the industry professional. So you can actually just go to here, go to Google, and you type PHP reverse shell. Yeah. just go to the first one. Below, oh my God. Yeah, so you can just use this code done by someone else. Yeah, then you will be able, then you change a few lines, then you should be able to work already. So over here, I'm going to use this guy's code. I'm going to go to raw. So I'm going to Control A to try to select all, Control C to copy it. Go back here, select all code to paste whatever I have from the reverse shell website. So over here, right, you just need to change these two. Okay, if you see here, these two lines. Okay, how do you know default login and password is admin? Okay, so if you have installed WordPress before, right, you have played around with WordPress before, right, you there's always a default user and password along with it. Yeah. So let's say you install a MySQL server, right? You're trying to do a MySQL database. There's always a default root user for it, right? Yeah. So if you're not sure, if let's say you encounter a new this website frame that you suspect there's a potential default user and password behind it, you can always Google it. So you just look up for what's the potential user and password for that. Yeah. So just go and try. If the it might not work all the times, honestly. Yeah. So for this one, it's just a simple machine. So it's a very simple task machine for us to hack. And this guy, as you can see, he didn't even configure the website properly. Later on, there's another machine, right? We're going to try, which is called the Mr. Robot. For that one, yeah, it's not that easy. You will see. And the username and password is not the default ones. So later on, you get to try it. And we will also work through how you're going to crack that one also. Yeah, I hope that answer the question. Okay, okay. So now over here, after we pasted the PHP reverse shell code, okay, we just need to change a few things. And it's already highlighted to us, the comment of just these two, the IP and the port. So what are we supposed to fill in here? So for here, right, we are supposed to fill in our own Kali Linux local IP and the port that we want to listen on. So in this case, I will just leave the port as 1234. I'm not going to change it. But for the IP address part, I have to change it. Yeah. Because if we run this code, okay, the reverse shell will just connect back to itself, which is the 127.0.0.1, which is the localhost IP. We don't want that to happen. We want the reverse shell to connect to our Kali Linux VM. So what's our Kali Linux VM IP address? Do you still remember? We actually find out at the beginning. If you still remember it, okay. So if you forget, it's totally fine. You just go to your terminal and you just type this thing, if config, enter. And over here, this is the IP address allocated to our Kali VM, which is 10.0.2.6. So this will be our IP address. So over here, right, I'm just going to edit it to our Kali Linux VM IP address to 10.0.2.6. Yeah. So yeah, over here, then the code is done already. We can just save the file. So we're going to press the button, update file over here, and you just update it. Okay, good. Now it says the file edited successfully. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to navigate. I'm going to try to navigate to this 404.php web page. You should be able to, then you're able to see it. Okay. Before we establish our PHP, we need to open our listener on our Kali machine. So over here, I'm going to use the netcat listener. I'm just going to type NC, which stands for netcat -lvnp. And I'm going to listen on port 1234. 1234. Yeah. So you just enter this command and just enter. Yep. Then you should see, okay, we are listening on this port. So here, let's open a new tab, and we're going to navigate to our 404.php. So I think it should be like this 10.0.2.5 / w content. Or is it secret? That should be secret. Secret / w content / themes / 2017, if I'm correctly. Yeah, if you forget about the theme, right, you can always refer to here. So the theme for this WordPress is 2017. Yeah. So here 2017 / 404.php. Okay, so this will be the address that we want to navigate to. So what is going to happen, right? Once we navigate to this address, the code that we implemented over here, this entire code will run itself, and it will establish a reverse shell to our Kali XVM. So I'm just over here, I'm just going to show you how it's going to happen. So I'm going to enter. Okay. Once you enter, right, you will see nothing is loaded. Instead, you see over here, right, next to the tab, you see it's like a forever loading sign. So it will just keep on loading. So at this time, then you try to go back to the oh my god, where's the shell that I established? Okay, you go back over here. This is the it's not this one. Okay, over here, right, you can see that this is the shell that we just now open our netcat listener, and you can see over here. Okay, that means we managed to establish a connection, yeah, from the target machine. No, okay. So if we just do some enumerations, like who am I? Okay, I'm the www data user for our target machine. Yeah. So at this stage, point in time, you have successfully established a connection, a shell, with your target machine. Yeah. So you have actually complete the enumeration and exploitation stage of the penetration testing. And the next step will be our escalation part, the previous escalation part. So now we are just a normal user, right? As you can see over here, if we key in who am I, which is to print out the current user, I'm just a normal user, the www data user. I want to become root. Yeah, I want to become the highest privilege user in this case. Yeah. So what are we going to do? Okay, I will just show you. Okay. So over here, I try to establish a secure TTY shell first. Okay. So we just type Python 3 C port TTY spawn. Okay, I'm just going to type in this command. It will just give me a better shell, better shell. I will just say in this case. Yeah, as you can see, it's more secure shell and provides more information compared to the last one that we have. Yeah. So once you reach this here, you can do some local emulation of the target machine. So you can just play around with it. So you can just do like maybe so what's my current locality? Okay, I'm do here. What can I do? So maybe I try to go to the root directory. Yeah, I'm in the root directory. What I'm going to list all the files over here and take a look what we have. List. Oh, you can see that we can actually all these files. Okay, we have the binary file, the op run root file. Oh, root file seems interesting. Shall we do that? Maybe we'll try to change directory to the root file and see what's in there. Let's see where. I'll try to bring this up a bit more. Okay, you will see something like this. Okay, permission denied. So this is one of the key reasons why we want to become the highest privilege user root, so that we can access every single file inside the system. Currently, I'm still a very low privilege user. I'm just a www.data user. Okay, I don't have any special privilege for me. I cannot even access the root file or any confidential folder in this system. But okay, so we still try to play around. Okay, we try to see what's in here. Maybe we try to see the home folder. Okay, we try to cd home. And let's see what's the user over here. Oh, okay, we found something. Okay, we found a user folder called Marlin Speak. Okay. Okay, we found this user. Can we access it? We try to go to its directory and see. So we change directory to this one and see. Okay, no, good. We're able to access it. And what's inside? Let's take a look. The list. Oh, something. Okay, the document downloads, anything. And if we try to navigate through, right? Okay, there's not much useful stuff. I would just say. Okay, not much very useful stuff. We try to find all the hidden files also. So if you use the command ls, right, try to list all the documents, right, you just list all the normal documents. You won't show you the hidden files inside the directory. So if you want to see a hidden file, right, you can just press this thing. Oh, sorry, enter the command ls-la, and you're able to see all the hidden files, including all the normal files, and give you more information on the files also. Yeah, you can see over here for all the hidden files, right? There's actually a dot in front of the file. If you just look at here, like .bash history, .bash logout, .bash rc, .cache. Okay, all these are hidden files that's not been shown to us previously. Okay, again, there's actually not much interesting stuff over here. So what else can we do? Okay, we can actually go to this folder called the etc folder, cd etc. Okay, so this folder actually contains a lot more interesting stuff. It contains the more towards the configuration related files. So here we are interested in a few files such as the etc password file, etc shadow, and etc actually contact. Yeah, these three files are actually what we would like to know. Okay, so what are these three files? I would say, so for etc password, right, it will just actually print out all the user yeah, for this system. And etc shadow file is actually store all the password hash for all the users. Okay, previously there's no etc shadow file. It's everything, the user and the password is all stored under the same file called etc password. But as people feel as the etc password is all users are able to read it and access it. So it's become more and more unsafe to do so. So they created a etc shadow file to store all the password hash for the user. Then etc cron tab or cron job, okay, is for the for the Linux scheduling file. So over that file, there's all the scheduling jobs where you can do schedule a program to run at a given time interval and anything. Yeah, so let's try to find out what's inside the etc password file in our case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this command called cat. So cat is just like to print out everything inside this file. Cat etc password. Enter. Ooh, you can see there's a lot of information provided to us. Okay, you can see there's a lot of users in this system. Okay, see every line is also a user. Okay, we can even see the root user over here. Give it some time. Sorry, I think the screen is a bit lagging. Okay, just give it some time. Okay, able to see the root user. Okay, I think if you just look at the first line after the command cat etc password, you should be able to see the root user. Okay, but we are unable to see any password. Yeah. So we just try to go down to try to look for more interesting information to us. So there's not much more information for this file. So let's try our luck maybe for our etc shadow file. Okay, let's try our luck. If the system is properly configured, right, by any chance the normal user or low privilege user shouldn't be able to access the etc shadow file at all. So it's unable to read the file at all. But in this case, we're going to try our luck. This is a very vulnerable target machine. So we're going to try to print out whatever we have for etc shadow. Oh, nice. So we get something very interesting. For the user, running spike, right? We are able to see the password hash for this user. If you look in 4K, from the first colon to the second colon, okay, this, I'll try to highlight, okay, this entire hash, right? This entire password hash is for the user running spike. Yeah. So if you try to see other user, right, you won't be able to see anything. Yeah. So except for this one, it's giving us some hint that the password hash for this user. So what are we going to do? Okay, after we get the password hash, we're trying to find what the actual password is, right? Yeah. So we're trying to decrypt what this thing. So we're going to use a new tool called John the Ripper. Okay, yeah, our Kali machine. So I'll try to just copy this line. Copy this entire line. Just copy it. Copy. Okay, I'm going to go to our own local Kali machine. Remember, this is still the reverse shell of the target machine. So we don't want to do our work over here. Try to go to our own local machine. Okay, over here, we're going to use this tool called John. But before that, let me create a txt file to store our useful information. Yeah, I'm just going to call this hash dot txt. Okay, so now I've created a txt file called hash.txt. If you try to print out what's inside, right? Try to cat to see what's inside hash.txt. You're able to see that's our password hash and the information that we have just now. So now we're going to try to use John to decrypt it. So we're going to use John, this command, and try to decrypt it. Oh, nice. So as you can see over here, after we run it, we're able to get, okay, this is the user that we're trying to decrypt, and this is the password that we get. So it's actually the same on this side. So after we get the user and the password, okay, we can go back, okay, go back to our reverse shell with our target machine. We can just do this. We try to switch to the user on this side. So what I'm going to do is just su, which means switch user. Okay, I'm going to switch to this guy on this slide. Okay, you will prompt us the password for this user. And since we already decrypt the password just now with John the Ripper, I'm just going to key in this the password, and you should be able to see. Okay, if you see here, my username has successfully changed from www.data to Manispec. Yeah. So you just, if you just press who am I, it'll tell you I'm Manispec. Yeah. So after we managed to it's called horizontal escalation, right? Horizontal escalation, we try to find out what does this user can do. What's the sudo commands that this user can use? So we're going to just type in this command, sudo -l. Okay. What this command is going to do is trying to will list out all the commands that I can to run the super user do. So I will just go enter. Okay, type in the password again. Okay, this prompts us something. It shows that I can run all sorts of commands and without any, yeah, we can just run all sorts of commands. How come you could invert the hash to find back the password? Is it because the hash function used isn't secure? Because hash function aren't supposed to be invertible? Okay. Okay. So hash function, right? You know that there's a input. Then after the input into the hash function, it becomes something unable to invert it, right? So what the people do, right? What all the password cracking hash, right? Is they try to they do something like they generate a list. So basically, of course, if you give me a hash, a secret hash, I wouldn't be able to know what's the original text behind it. So in this case, if I want to encrypt a text called fish, okay, I encrypt this text of fish. Okay, you just generate me unknown hash. Of course, if you pass to the hackers, they also don't know. They also unable to invert the hash and find out and tell you that the password is fish. So what the people do is they build a database, or they build a very, very large database or very large dictionary, or you can call it. Okay. So what they do, right, is they try to input all the possible like vulnerable text into it. So it's not a very easy work. They try to build a very huge database. Like they will input all the texts, all the possible texts, let's say from A to Z, they will just randomize the words. Yes, correct. So after they create a randomized list, then they will pass to the hash. So for this word, I have a hash. This word, I have a hash. This word, I have another hash. So they build very big database or dictionary. So they have this very big, large file to refer to. So once I pass this hash, right, I say, okay, can you help me look for this hash? They will just cross-matching to their database and found for similar hashes. And they find an exact hash that match, right? They will refer back to what's the original text. Yeah, they found it. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Okay. Okay. Nice. So, okay, over here, right, we can run like all commands basically with our sudo command. Okay. So what we can do over here is actually very simple. We're going to just use this sudo su. Okay. What this means that just to use the sudo privilege to switch to the highest privilege user. Just now when we trying to su to money spike, right, we have to specify the username, right? When we carry out that command. But if we don't specify anything, right, we can just by default the command will assume that we're going to switch to the root user, the highest privilege user. So now we have the highest privilege. So super user do. Then we're going to use super user do to execute the su command. So over here, I'm just going to press here. Bingo. Ta-da! So as you can see over here, I'm currently the root user. Yeah. So if I press who am I? Yes, I'm root. Yeah. So now we are successfully the highest privilege user really. Yeah. Then I can navigate to any kind of files. I can do any kind of modification. I can even install a backdoor. Yeah, that's like post exploitation. We're not going to cover it today. Yeah. So I still remember when we first access to this target VM, right? We cannot even visit the root file. But since now we are the root user, right? We are the highest privilege user. We can just cd change directory to the root directory. You see, and we try to list. Okay, there's nothing over here. Okay, but we are able to visit the previously unable to visit file. Yep, that's all for this machine. Yeah, so we are able to. That's how we escalate into our highest root user. So does anyone have any question for this one? For this machine? Yeah. All good? All good for this one? I hope everyone can follow. Yeah. Okay, never mind. So we can have a short break. Yeah, everyone is pretty tired already, sitting in front. So we're gonna have a short 5-minute break, and we'll come out at 8 p.m. Then we will give you maybe a short 10 minutes for you to try on the Mr. Robot, that VM. So you can try to import it first, import it to your VirtualBox manager. Then after 5 minutes, we come back, we can begin with that box. All right. Okay. So yeah, yes. Everyone go for your break. Then we come back at 8 p.m. Okay. One cannot driverless mode. Driverless mode. Okay. Hello, welcome back, everyone. So now we'll move on to our second machine for today. Okay. So our second machine today, if you import it, it's just this thing called VM. Okay. The same thing. We go to settings. Go to settings. Then you try to configure first. Oh my God. Okay, go to setting, try to configure. Okay, let me change the RAM, register leave at this, processor leave it to 1, ensure the network. Okay, network from change to NT network. Okay, if your NT network is not working, then maybe you can try the bridge network, the bridge adapter, and see whether it works or not. Okay, so in this I will just stick to my NT network. Yeah, then you can launch it, and then you can try you can try to click on yourself. Okay, so for this box, right, there's like 3 keys hidden in this machine. There's key 1, key 2, and key 3. So after this through, right, we'll try to play a Kahoot game, and if you are able to okay by right, if you are able to win, right, and you attend physically, right, they have some small gifts for you all lah. But since now everyone is attending online, so never mind. So we just play a Kahoot game after this box, then see whether you can find all the 3 keys or not. So now just launch this VM, this target VM, then see whether you can find the keys. Yeah, I think the first key should be quite easy to find. So just give it a try. Yeah. So I think we just give you maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, just give 10 minutes. Then we'll try to then after 10 minutes we'll maybe A15, then we'll start working through the machine. Yeah. Okay. Okay, welcome back everyone. It's A15. Okay, I hope you have tried the machine. Okay, if you're able to launch it. But if you are I think some of you messaged me that you are unable to launch the target machine. I think it's totally fine. Uh as long as you can launch the Kali Linux machine should be fine. Okay. So uh okay, so if you are able to launch your own target machine, okay, VirtualBox or VMware, right? That's good. If cannot, right? Okay, I try to show you. Okay, so I have this AWS instance running with Mr. Robot VM. Okay, there's a public address that you might want to try. Okay, so if you are unable to launch your own target machine, okay, you can try it with this IP. Okay, so our just now that step, right? You try to do net discover, you try to discover the IP address of your target machine. Okay, in this case, if you cannot discover it, right, you might want to give a try to this one. Okay, but this one, I only have one instance. Yeah, so maybe you can just try and see whether it works for you. So just use this IP. Okay, 13.150.125.26. I will try to, yeah, I will just send this in the group. If you're unable to launch your own box, in the, okay, so let's begin with our Mr. Robot. Okay, let me see. Okay, let's try to launch the target machine. Okay, once your target machine is launched, right, you should be able to see an interface over here. Okay. If you're able to see this interface, right, that means it's set up really. So you don't need to worry so much. Okay, so over here I'm using a different version of Kali Linux is fine. You should be able to work similar to yours. Okay, so over here we try to do our. Okay, let's see whether I can zoom the. Zoom preference. Ooh. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to zoom in on this, but okay, we will just repeat the same step as our first machine. So we start with our if config to check our IP address, okay, for our own local client machine. So in this case, my current IP address is 10.0, 10.0.2.4, as you can see over here. Okay, so this is our local address for our local client Linux machine. So next we're going to do net discover. So we're going to do net discover and try to find the IP address of our target machine. It's weird. 10.0 is unable to. It's weird. What's the configuration? Correct. Disable to unable to find. It's weird. It's unable to. Okay, something weird where occur. I don't know what's the issue, but okay. In this case, I will just use the public target VM in this case. So I'm going to use the 13.250.125 and 26. So we just do with mmap 13.250.25.26. Give some time to run. Shouldn't be this long. I think something wrong with this VM. Okay, I'll try with another one. Tipo one. Okay, sorry. I think just now there's something wrong with that VM. Okay, but if I use back the previous time, it should be fine. So this time, our target VM is at the address of 10.0.2.7, as you can see over here. Okay, this is our target VM's address. Okay, so same thing. You can do mmap +7. Try to run a scan. Give it some time. Okay, so now we are able to see that, okay, for this one, we are able to see that the port 22 and port 80 and port 443. Okay, port 443 is our like a HTTPS service. Then for port 80 is our normal HTTP service. And does anyone have tried the public target VM IP address? Does it work for you? The AWS one? Okay, never mind. We will just carry on with this. Okay, so similar to our previous VM, our basic pen test one, we are going to explore what's inside over the website. Okay, so I'm just going to navigate to open my Firefox browser. I'm going to key in 10.0.2.7. And you're able to see something like this. Okay, some very cool web page. By the way, the time is already almost 8:30. If you need to leave, please feel free to do so. This session will be recorded, and I think we will upload it to our YouTube webpage. Then, if you still have time, you want to stay, and feel free to stay here. Then we can work through this machine now. Yeah. Okay, so for this one, what we like to do similar to our previous target machine, we can try to view page source and try to find something that interests us, that caught our attention. Actually, over here, you can also try to key in the commands inside. Over here is trying to, you can actually go ahead and try to key in commands over here. Then you can, you can maybe try to navigate around. But I've tried it, there's nothing useful, I would just say. So here, okay, you see something, but also not very useful. Okay, so after we do this, what's our next step? Can anyone still remember what should we do after this? After we reach a page source and we still didn't manage to find something useful to us, what should we do? MSN, we already do it already, the port scanning part. So something about scanning, but scanning for what? Yes, correct. Yeah, the hidden directories. Okay, the web animation. So we're going to run the run the over here. The same thing, HTTP. Yeah. HTTP 7. So let's go. So give it some time to run. Yeah. Yeah, I will just fast forward this step. Okay. You able to you should be able to the result, right? You should be able to see there's a robots.txt file and there should be also a WP login page for it. Okay, so over here, we'll try to navigate to the, where's the, okay, we'll try to navigate to the robots.txt file. Press 10.0.2.7 / robots.txt file. Oh, you see something very interesting. Okay, there's two files. This dictionary file, and that's our key. Okay, our first key that we need to find. So we can actually download it. So how we're going to download? We just need to visit. Okay, visit the site. So for this one, I'm going to dictionary. Yeah, should be able to prompt us whether we want to download this or not. Okay, let's just save the file. Save this and click OK. I should be able to download it already. So next one, we'll move on to our key 1 of 3.txt. Oh, so this is our first key. Our first key to do this block. So yeah, just take note. So let's see what's inside the files that we downloaded. Okay, over here, we're going to use our prompt. SEO standing. Yeah, I'm just going to horizontal. Yeah. Just let it run by the side. So let's see what we have downloaded. Okay, downloads. This, okay, so we have this dictionary file, and let's try, maybe just try the first 5 lines and see what's inside. Okay, we can see that there's some random words inside. So it can be potential a username included or a password included. We have no idea what it is. Okay, but we know that it's going to be what's the file size? Tell us. Okay, if you can see whether you can see the file size now. You can see that it's a very huge file size. Okay, very huge file size. And you will know that it contains a lot of passwords or potential username in this file. So after navigating to, okay, after navigating to the robots.txt, our next one should be, let me check, our next interesting folder should be, should be the WP login page. So let's try to navigate to it. Nice. So here's another WP login page that we can abuse. And like last time, we can try our default credential for this one. Like try our default user is admin and default password also admin. So let's try it for this time. Yeah, let's just try it. Maybe we get luck. This guy also forgot to change the default credential. We don't know. So let's try. Oops, something went wrong. Okay, so maybe this time it's not as easy as last time. You can see that it's an invalid username. So it's actually giving us some hint. It's actually an invalid username. That means this user doesn't even exist. Okay. No, the user admin doesn't even exist for this WordPress. So how are we going to find the user for this one? Remember the dictionary file that we have just now? Yeah, the society the dictionary, that file. Yeah. So it's a very huge file that potentially contain a valid username for this, or maybe a password. So next thing, we're going to use a tool called Hydra, and we're going to use it to try to find out the username for it. Okay. So over here, we're going to use Hydra. So type in the command using list. I'm going to use the we'll change directory, change to downloads directory. I'm going to run Hydra. Shell fso. I'm going to use for the password, but I'm going to just going to be a random password. So I'm just going to say a test for this, test password. Then next thing is my address of my target machine, 2.7. The attack mode. Okay, Hydra is a very powerful tool. So not only it can do brute force like during the HTTP form, it can also be used in SSH brute force and SQL brute force. Okay, there's quite many services that you provide. If you're interested, you can just always Google Hydra documentation, and you can find out what it can do. Okay. So this time I'm going to use the HTTP form post attack. In the directory wp login dot php log equals to user and password goes to password else going to give me a invalid thing. Okay, so for here, right, I don't know, not sure whether you can see or not. So over here, I'm trying to say that okay, go to the WP login deck webpage, and the thing below is actually the headers, okay, the response that you send. If you are not sure whether it's log or username or anything for this part, right, you can always go to here. You can click on inspect. Okay, go to inspect. Go to network. Okay, then you can monitor the traffic. So in this case, last time I used admin. I try to log in. I know it fails, right? But actually, we managed to do a post request, right? So you navigate over here, and if you look at the request header, right, you're able to see this part. Okay, for the form data that we posted, you can actually see log is admin, PWD is admin. That's how we get the input format we needed for Hydra. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so for this one. So after keying this thing, we can just press enter and see how it goes. Okay, nice. So if you can see, right, you already found a potential user idiot. So now what we can do is we're going to use another tool called WP scan to try to do the password brute force, password attack in this case. Yeah, so we're going to use the same dictionary and we just use a different tool called WP scan. So what I'm going to do here is going to call WP scan dash URL. Well, before I move on to the password attack, I would like to just show you the response that you will provide by this block. Okay, just close this. So remember, just when we key in admin, the website will actually prompt us an error that says invalid username. That means this username doesn't even exist at all. Sorry, I think the screen is lagging. Yeah. Should be able to see. Yeah, see, well. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can see it. So over here, it actually prompts an error, right? Just now, it's an invalid username. Okay, so it indicates to us that the admin user doesn't even exist. Sorry, the user admin doesn't even exist. So just now we use Hydra. We managed to find a potential user. It's called Elliot. So we're going to test it. So Elliot, maybe I just randomly what password hash. You will see it will prompt us a different error compared to this thing. So I'm trying to log in. So now, if you see, look at the error, it prompts, okay, the password you entered for the username is incorrect. Okay, it's a complete different error. So from that error, we actually know that there's no user admin for this WordPress. But from this error that we get, we know that Elliot does exist for this WordPress, but just we get an incorrect password entered. So now we're going to try our password attack to find out the password for Elliot. Okay, so let's try the password. We're going to use WP scan this time. Sorry, we'll cd to the downloads directory. WP scan and dash URL http 10.0.2.7. Then go to for the user, I'm going to input Elliot, then dash p f. So okay, I'm going to run this. Okay, so for this one, right, for WPScan is actually a very, very useful tool for WordPress related websites. You can also do enumeration of users, and not only password attack, you also have many other functions like finding the exploit for a plugin for the WordPress. Okay, but for this one, okay, actually I tried it like on Wednesday, and it took me about like 30 minutes to find the password for it. So I don't want to waste our time, so I will just tell you the password for this one. I will just close this. Okay, if you refer to the Google Drive folder, the slides, you should be able to see the password. So over here, I've already the password, which is called let me see what's the password. Should be ER28-0652. Yeah. So in this case, try to send the password over here for y'all. This is ER26, ER28, sorry, 0652. So this is the password for the username Elliot. So I'm trying to enter it. 0652. Okay, now you can see that we are actually managed to log in. So the same thing, same steps. We go to appearance editor. We go to our 404.php. We try to copy the code for PHP reverse shell. Okay, so Control A, select all, copy. Over here, Control A, Control V. Yeah, so we managed to paste all the code here. Oh my God. So here we need to change the IP address. Okay, change the IP address to our own IP address. In this case, what's our IP address? Actually forget. So let's just do a check. If config. Okay, ours 10.0.2.6. So 10.0.2.6. We save it. For our port, we remain it as port 1234. So let's update this file. Update file. Okay, you should be able to see that our file should be edited successfully. And take note of our theme is 2015. So let's go to our terminal. We answer netcat listener, start with netcat listener at 1234. Start. Go to the web page. Browse to 10.0, sorry, 10.0.2.7/WP content /teams 2015 /404.php. Oh my god, something is wrong. Yeah. Something is wrong. Let me see. String disable to fclose. Shouldn't be. It's everything. 2015. See what's the problem. Okay, sorry. It's able to establish a shell already. Okay, nice. So you're able to see we are successfully established a reverse shell. So who am I? Okay, Damon. Then as always, we try to establish a secure TTY shell. So the Python 3, C, import pty.spawn bash. Okay. Now able to see, you should be able to see this. Okay. You can over here you can do a little bit of local enumeration, like finding out what's our machine running. You can just use this command. I think I forget to introduce to you just now. Uname -a. You can actually check the system that we are running. We can see that it's our Linux system and it's running Ubuntu. Okay, our Linux kernel also. This is our Linux kernel running and our architecture x86. Yeah, all this kind of information. So next thing. Okay, what's our next step really? After we able to log in, do you still remember for our basic pen test one? After we do all this, manage to able to establish a reverse shell, where should we go? Does anyone want to give a guess? Where should we go next? Yeah, so our current user statement, shadow. Okay, we can try shadow. We can try to cat the etc shadow. Nope. No, it looks like it's a much more secure system for this one. A bit hard. Okay, it says permission denied. Yep. What else can we do? Do you still remember, like, we can always try to find other users? Maybe our etc password, right? We can try our etc password. etc password file should be visible to all user as it's not that secure. Oh, you can see that there's actually quite a lot of other users in this machine. Okay. If you want, if you don't want to view this, we can always go to cd home, where it stores all the potential users. So we just go to list. Okay, you can see there's another potential user called robot. So let's take a look of what's inside robot's home directory. So we cd to robot. If we print the current, our working directory is at home robot directory. So I'm going to list everything, list and include all the hidden files. Remember the command for this is ls-la. Sorry, ls-la to view all sorts of files. Oh, okay, nice. We managed to find something very interesting. Okay, our second key for this machine and a password cat.raw-md5 file. Okay. So let's try to cat our key. So, unable to do so. Seems that it's protected. For our current user, we are unable to print out the content of our second key. So it seems like we have to do a vertical escalation to our, do a horizontal escalation to our robot user. Then we'll be able to see the content of the key2 of 3.txt file. So how do we switch to the user's robot? We can see that there's a password.raw-md5 file. So let's try to see what's in there. Something cat password. Okay, if you are wondering like how I'm able to save the from typing the rest of the word, I just use the tab key. Yeah, the tab key on the keyboard. You should be able to autocomplete. Yeah, it helps you to autocomplete. Okay, so now we see, again, a user and a password hash. And this time, we know the password hash format is raw-md5 format. And we, of course, in this case, we can use John to help us decrypt it. And we can use any other password hash decrypting tool. So today, I think I'm just going to show you if it's such a simple hash, right? And it's a well-known raw MD5 encryption, right, algorithm. We can just use some online tools. It should be also able to help us to achieve it. So I'm going to use Google to search for hash decrypt. Okay, I decided to use the first website. So you can see the website provide decrypt MD5, decrypt SHA-1, SQL, NTN SHA-258. This kind of like a very popular and frequently used encryption algorithm. Okay, over here. So what was my, okay, is this one? I'm just going to copy this thing, copy, and let's go over here. Paste it. Scroll down. I'm going to submit and search to decrypt it. Ooh, cool. Luckily, we managed to find something for this one. As you can see, the decrypted password for this hash is this thing. It's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G until Z. Yeah, so this is our decrypted password for this hash. Let's copy this thing. Okay, nice. So we get the password for the user robot. So let's try to switch user to it. Still remember the command? Okay, it's called SU, switch user, SU. Switch user to robot. Okay, it promised a password. The password we already copy it. So let's just paste it. We managed to escalate to the user robot. So if we try who am I, it will tell you that I'm robot. Okay. So now let's try again to try to print out the content of the key2.3. Boom. Nice. So this is our second key for this system. The second key that we get. Okay. So now we are trying to escalate to our root user, the highest privilege user. Do you still remember, like after we escalate to our user, what can we do? Once we reach this step, what can we do? Okay, I will just give you all. Okay, so once we reach this part, right, we can actually do the sudo -l to try to list out the commands that we can do as sudo. Do you still remember that we for our basic pen testing one.vm, we managed to do it, and it actually tell us we can run all sorts of commands using the su, and we managed to do sudo su and managed to escalate to the root user. So this time, why not try again? So we do sudo -l and see what kind of commands that we can run with sudo. Password, just now the ABCD. Okay, let's try it. Oh, that's sad. It says that user robot may not run sudo on Linux. Oh, so what else can we do? Yeah. So for this time, I'm going to introduce a new technique. So a new way to escalate to the root user is called the SUID file. Okay, I think I stop sharing a bit first. Okay, stop sharing. I'll show you all the. Actually, wait. Actually, can. So. Wait, I think did someone message me? Sorry. Oops. Let's see. Chats. Oops. Doesn't run. My WP scan doesn't return any password. What should I do? Okay, so for Daniel, sorry, I think I missed out your message just now. Okay, I think after this workshop, you still got any problem, right? You can try to PM me. Yeah, I'll see what the problem is. Okay, so sorry, I missed out your message. Okay, if we go to our over here, right? Saying so below, I think there's an introduction to what the SUID file is. So if you look at the SUID file, it's actually a special file permission for executable files, which enable the users to run the file with effective permissions of the file owner. So in this case, we are looking for any potential files that's owned by the root user in this case. So let's go back to our taking VM, our Kali VM. So we're going to find the SUID files. And how are we going to find it? So we're going to use the command below over here. So it's called find. Used to remember, it's called dash perm. Dash perm slash perm dash permission dash u goes to s dash type equals to f for file slash develop slash now. Okay, so here I will just try to explain the command over here a bit. So what this one is, we are trying to use the find command to find the SUID file in our system. And where we're going to start is actually the root directory, the very beginning directory, and search all the files possible. And we're going to look for permission, the file permission where the period is set to S. Okay. Then for the type, we're going to find the file type, and we're going to find any error. So from here onwards, the two arrow slash dev slash now, right, is actually saying that any kind of error, don't just empty, don't print out. Yeah, so that's what the command is just saying. So let's run. Okay, you should be able to see there's some like a few interesting files to us, and our most interested file is this file. Okay, it's our dash user dash local dash bin dash mmap file. Okay, do you still familiar with mmap? Do you still remember what mmap is? It's the tool that we use for port scanning, right? Yeah. Okay. So we want to we want to see how can we abuse this mmap and how we're going to escalate it, use it. So let's try to find the version of this mmap first. So we're going to use -- version and see. Okay, it tells us this mmap is currently running on the version 3.81. And if you try to Google, right, to look for the vulnerability for this version of mmap, you should able to get a few articles or example on how to do it. So one way to escalate it, to abuse this version is to do this interactive. Yeah, so it's this command, nap -- interactive. You should prompt give us something like this. And if we key in -sh, right, guess what will happen? Can you give a guess? All right, okay, let's just see what will happen. Oh, something new. And if we print who am I, ta-da, we get root. Yep. So that's okay. We finally become the highest privileged user, root, for this machine, and we haven't find our third key yet. You know, we went to find key 1 and key 2. Where could our third key possibly be at? Can anyone give a guess? I would just say it's at the most privileged location that only root can access to that territory. Do you still remember what that territory is? Yes, correct. Thank you, Daniel. It's the root territory. So if we just currently is still at home robot, so we just change territory to root. Okay, we are currently at root, and we just ls. Ooh, we see something. Our key tree. So let's cat it and cat key -3-3.txt. Ta-da! That's our last key to this machine. And yeah, I think that's the end for this one. Yeah. Yeah. So are you able to find all 3 keys? So to take note. Okay, that's the end for this this machine. Okay. So right now we're going to play our last part to the last part of this workshop, which is the Kahoot. Okay, Kahoot time. Okay, and it's basically testing out whether you manage to find all 3 keys in this system. Okay, just give me some time. I will set the Kahoot up. Okay. Okay, let me share screen. Okay, so this is the last part of today. Okay, the Kahoot. Okay, you can try to enter the pin. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else joining? Okay, nice. I think just 30 more seconds, then I think we will start with this one. It's very simple. It's a very simple quiz. Just test out all the tricks, whether you manage to find it or not. Yeah. So just give it a try. Okay, I think we'll just start now. So, okay. So what's our first key? Our first key. Do you still remember? You can try to okay. It's okay. Our next one. Oh, nice. Everybody, most of you can actually get correct. Can our last key, where we just managed to get it? Which one is it? Oh, nice. So congratulations, guys, on winning. Okay, there's actually a small little prize that actually I provided for the winner, but since you're unable to make it, so yeah, but it's okay if you still want the prize. It's actually just drinks, I like provided. You're still interested in getting a drink from me, then feel free to contact me. Yeah. I think, yep, that's it. Yeah, then I think that's the end for today's workshop. And if you got any question or anything, you can, this is my Telegram. And if you want to connect with me, here's my LinkedIn URL. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any question regarding today's workshop and anything that you'd like to ask about cybersecurity. Yeah. Then a little bit of promotion. On 2 weeks later, on 27 and 28, we are having a data science related workshop. Yeah, it's we invited that one is conducted by industry personnel. Yeah, I think on 27 we have someone for a senior data engineer from Grab, and also on the 28 we have also a senior data engineer from Alibaba. Yeah, they are joining us and giving workshop on that. Yeah, so if you are free, feel free to sign up for it. Yeah, then here's our, if you haven't followed us on the Telegram group or anything, this is our link. And yeah, that should be all for today. Thank you for attending this workshop. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, thank you, Winnie. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, thanks everyone for attending. All right, see y'all. Bye bye. Have a good weekend. Thank you.